Hello everybody, Ragtag Sagvi here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, we made a brief trip back to Kitakami to capture our final team member, which is Kimo. And now, let's head back to school and complete our finals. Let's complete all our classes. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. Next time we meet, Abe will have our final exam. That means today is our last actual class. And the topic of this last class will be Pokemon forms. You can just think of forms as the shapes or appearances that Pokemon have. There's also a phenomenon called a form change, where a Pokemon appearance changes under certain conditions. Psychosar, for example, which we regularly ride on as transportation here in Paldea, has three forms. First is its basic form, where it walks on its four legs. Its second is its battle form, where it stands on its hind legs and aids to engage in battle. Finally, there's its ride form, where it inflates its throat sac and its tail so we can ride on its back. Although we can use something you are all carrying with you now as an even better example. Yep, I'm talking about your phones. Some smartphones are inhabited by a certain Pokemon. Does anyone know what the Pokemon I am referring to? Rotom, Pikachu, and Heracross. I'd love to see you try to put any of these two in a phone. You are a regular expert on Pokemon and technology, aren't you, Donnie? The Pokemon inside your smartphone is Rotom, and it does all sorts of things to help you out. A Rotom inside a Rotom phone is special, so it doesn't try to enter any other electronics. And an ordinary Rotom, however, can change forms by entering washing machines, microwave ovens, and other electronic appliances. Rotom is a bit of an exception, though many Pokemon can change forms due simply by holding an item, or having one used on them. Oricorio, for example, has 4 different forms and can change between them given in certain nectars. The Pokemon may change type or even learn different moves when they change forms. Form changes are different from evolution in that the Pokemon can return to its original form. And unlike shiny Pokemon, which can't change their special coloration, and the individual Pokemon can go back and forth in between its forms. There's a lot to dig into with this form change phenomenon, as you can see. We can all learn something from Pokemon here, don't you think? A bit of a stretch, but I do be happy to see all your enjoyment at the time of the Academy to the fullest, and change form into a new version of yourselves. Or something like that anyway. Oh, I almost forgot! Regular forms, which are very based on the region of a Pokemon came from, don't change like any other forms. They are inherited. Whoops! There's the bell. I guess I was scatterbrained, Mr. Jock, right up to the very end, huh? Had a great time teaching all of you. I hope you all do your best on the final exam. Alright, now let's get ready for our final exam. Oh, what the hell is that noise I can hear? Is that a frog? I don't know if the mic is picking that up. And now it's stopped. Okay. Let's go to our finals. Hello everyone, today's our final exam. It will cover everything I've taught you so far, but I'm sure you will all do just fine. Take your time and contemplate each question carefully. How many of the following 4 methods make it easier to catch Pokemon? Inflicting paralysis, using a toy, feeding a berry, or surprising it from behind? 2 of these things are correct. True or false? You can get new Pokemon only by catching them yourself or trading with other trainers. This is false. If a Pokemon is holding an Everstone and using an item that introduces evolution, such as a Firestone, will cause it to evolve. Let me see. Yes, it will. What is the probability of running into a shiny Pokemon? That would be 1 in 4,000. True or false? The Pokemon known as Oricorio has 3 forms. That is false because it has 4. This question won't affect your grade. Do you have anything you would like to say about my class? I'm still getting used to this teaching thing, but I'm sure or had fun as your teacher. Thank you for being our teacher. Okay, time's up. Whether you like it or not, I hope everyone enjoyed tackling those questions. I snuck in a little bonus question there, right at the end again. Shh, our little secret. Don't tell the director. I'll grade these right away. I hope you're all looking forward to seeing how you did. Alright, let's see our results. So for finals, we need to get at least 4 or correct. Got 5 out of 5 correct. So for passing finals, we get medium candies. Let's take on math. Hello everyone, I hope we can have fun once again today for our last class together. Last time we learned about probability, using move accuracy as an example. Probability is quite an interesting subject, did you know that? In a class with 40 students, there is a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday. This is true even despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. Isn't that remarkable? Let's move on to today's topic before we get swept along with probability again. I'll be teaching you all how to calculate damage in this class using examples like type, matchups, critical hits, stat boosts, and the like. All those variables are multiplied together to calculating damage dealt to the opponent. However, did you know that there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon moves? All you have to do is have your Pokemon use the move that shares a type with it. If a Rock-type Pokemon uses a Rock-type move, Stone Edge, the move's base power of 100 is multiplied by 1.5 and becomes 150. Ground and Rock may seem like similar types, but if a Ground type uses Stone Edge, the move's power will remain 100. Super effective moves and critical hits also add multipliers into this little numerical increase. So it most certainly must not be taken lightly. Let me ask you a question to see if you understand what I'm talking about here. Say you have a move with 100 power. If a Pokemon shares that type with this move uses and hits an opponent that is weak to that type, what will happen to the move's power? It will become 300. You did the calculation all in your head. Well done, Donnie. First, using a move that shares the type with its user multiplies the move's base power of 100 by 1.5, making the move's power 150. The fact that the opponent is weak to the move's type then doubles that power to 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled. Isn't that amazing? What's more, if a Pokemon terrestrializes and its Tera type matches one of its original types, then the bonus it gets for using the move of that same type increases from 1.5 to 2. Of course, being able to use a lot of moves with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own initiative characteristics are what really lets you shine the most. Bear in mind that it is true for both humans and Pokemon. It's sure to make me happy if you could take those words to heart. But I suppose I should really share this base advice right from our first lesson. I apologize. And just like that, class is over. The last of our time together flew by in a blink of an eye. It's such fun to be able to teach you all eager students about numbers. Next class will be our final exam. And be sure to review the material in preparation. Time for our final exam, in maths. Alright everyone, it's time to begin our final exam. I'm sure the fun experiences you all had in my class will serve you well as your answer. How many Great Balls could you purchase with 3,000 Pokédollars if each one costs 600? That would get me 5 Great Balls. If a Water-type move with a power of 100 lands a critical hit on a Grass-type Pokemon, what will the move's power be? That would be 75. Under normal conditions, what % chance does Stone Edge have to land a critical hit? That would be about 12%. If a Pokemon uses Sword Dance twice to boost its attack by 4 stages, how much damage will its physical moves do? That would be triple damage. If a Rock-type Pokemon on whose Tera type is Rock terrestrializes, what will the power of its Rock-type moves be multiplied by? That would be 2. Alright everyone, time is up. Put your hands on your laps now. The test has accumulated all of what I taught you, and I'm sure you all did just fine. Do go and ask for your scores at the front desk, and take a nice break. Alright, so let's see our results. We got 5 out of 5 correct. This is the passing score. Get some medium candies. Now time for history. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I'd like to unravel the marvels of history that's presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must match so orthodoxically towards the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march towards the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? I think it would. So you agree with me, do you, Donnie? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us towards the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with history of the terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind the Tera Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, the others continued to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, the Pokemon uncloaked in mysterious light were discovered there. As you may already guess, they were, in fact, terrestrialized Pokemon. However, those who discovered those Pokemon brought them out of Area Zero. The light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone had definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Perfect timing to make eye contact, young Donnie. Answer me this. What is the name of this famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Heath, Toro, and Clairvoyant. Now, as you could probably guess, the correct answer is your game's professor, so Professor Toro. Correct. To think you, a new transfer of our academy, could correctly answer this question. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Toro unraveled the mysteries of the terrestrial phenomenon. He discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent the Terra Orb technology and develop a practical use for it. The technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clairvoyant has one of the researchers of the terrestrial of the professor's team. Alas, this story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history class. Our next session will be our final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Let's take on our final exams in history. Greetings, my little students. It's time for our final exam. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer the questions. What is the area within the Great Crater of Paldea called? The core area, Area Zero, the crater area. That is Area Zero. How many years ago was this academy founded? It was founded 805 years ago. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the four treasures? A vassal, a folding fan, a set of tablets, or a set of beads? That would be a folding fan. Which of Area Zero's expedition members wrote the record of the team's activities? Heath, Thief, or Heath? That would be Heath. How many years ago did Professor Toro invented the Terra Orbs? That would be 10 years ago. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. You must excuse that last question. It is too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desks. Let's look at our score. Get our candies. Now it's time for languages. My dear friends, how are you all today? It is time for the last or language lessons. Allez votre prêts, are you ready? Oni. What a response! Fantastic! Great answer, that is. Perfect for our last class together. I love it. And Adul Hurai, today we will once again be having a listening lesson. Thus I go for it, my assistant Pikachu. Let's get right to it, my little Pikachu friend. For our last listening class, tell everyone how you're feeling right now. See you to the Pratt. Oh, can you feel that? That's one courageous emotion in Pikachu's voice. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu is trying to convey just now? That would be happiness. Well done, Donnie. I am so happy that you got it right. Get it? When Pikachu says, it is expressing happiness. Does it make you just want to break out into a happy dance? But I didn't have to ask Pikachu to put on an act today. Oh no, I simply asked it to show you all how it felt about getting to have to class with you. Getting to meet so many new friends and study together in class with you. It made both me and my little Pikachu so very happy. And now, out of pros of nothing, let me give you all one last word of advice. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will all have times when you get mad or sad, or maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a valuable roller coaster. But living in the end, and that is, there is surely happiness waiting for you. So, grandes les oreilles, keep a smile on your face, even in the hardest of times. And when you're faced with a problem that you cannot handle alone, find someone to rely on, to be its teacher, your family, your friends, anyone. Our promo change occurs. Next lesson will be our final exam. Be sure to review what we have earned in all of our lessons so far. Adios, Maridachi! Let's take on languages as the final. Today we make our final exam. Didris Vodix, relax, that is, do your best. As for the pets, are you ready? Let's begin. Which one of these following means delicious? That'd be Duraxius. What do these two foreign phrases mean? Jedmime, literally brabach. That would be I love you. Based on what you just heard, what emotion do you think Pikachu was expressing? Anger. Based on what you just heard, what emotion do you think Pikachu is expressing? That would be happiness. What is your beloved teacher's name? Labrador, Amador, it is Salvatore. Livy's fini! His time is up! Protevoto Savdaru! Oh, put your pens down, that is. I assume the obligatory determined question, last question, that is, gave you no trouble. I'm sure you all did great! Bravo, my friends! You can get your scores from the school's front desk. It feels great to get a test out of the way. Let's see our scores. 5 out of 5 correct. Alright, time for battle studies. Oish! This is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we wrap things up. You shown that you have more than enough knowledge to be super strong battlers. I don't know what I have much left to teach you, but we can always aim for even greater heights. So today, I'm going to teach you about the rules of link battles. When two trainers participate in link battles, together they engage in either single battles or double battles with each other. And if you are playing groups of 4, you can all battle with each other in multi-battles. Now that you are all out having battles during your independent studies, you can use whatever number of Pokemon you would like, and they can be of any level. But in link battles, there are special rules to keep in mind. Some of these special rules involving adjusting Pokemon levels. Now, the no restrictions rule sets all Pokemon to stay at their current levels. It lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same held item too. But if you choose to use normal rules, all Pokemon on will be set to level 50 for your battles, regardless what level they actually are. This includes low level Pokemon, they will get a power boost to participate. Normal rules let you use multiple of the same Pokemon species, and of the same held items too. The great part about this rule set is that it lets any of your Pokemon on participate, and they all have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the last rule is called flat battles. Mostly affects Pokemon over level 50, such as it will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. Flat rules is set and is one often used for official tournaments. This rule does not allow trainers to use multiple Pokemon of the same species, nor multiple of the same held item. Alright, here's the question for you. Which rule set should you pick if you want to use low level Pokemon and keep its level low? That would be flat rules. That's the one, new kid. Looks like you were listening to the lesson. If you got some clever strategy that you need to use a level 5 Pokemon for, your best bet is to choose the flat rule set. Of course, you can also choose no restrictions if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want, at any level, or with any held item. That's pretty good rules set for when you want to battle with freely with friends. In conclusion, normal rules adjust all Pokemon's level to level 50. Flat rules let you use low level Pokemon at their actual levels. I hope you all use these tips to have some exciting battles with your friends. Aw man, just what we were about to suggest as to do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we're truly out of time. Next class will be our final exam. Aim for a perfect score. Osh osh! Let's take on our final exams and battle studies. It's finally game day. Today's our final exam. Time to put your great game faces on and do battle with those test sheets. Which cheer boosts the attack and special attack for all allies during a Terra Raid battle. That would be Golo out. Out we go! What do we call battles that Pokemon sent out with the R button to do on their own? That would be auto battles. How should you attain LP? Taking on gyms, exchanging materials, hack the system. Exchanging materials. High-level Pokemon are adjusted to what level when using the flat rules in Link battles? That would be level 50? When using normal rules in Link battles, you can use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same items. That is true. Time is up! Put your pencils down! I saw you were giving it everything you got. I'm sure you all got perfect scores. You all did so well in my class. If you pass this test, you are officially EB Battle Masters. Now go ask for your Shirley Stellar scores at the front desk, you little rascals. It feels great to get a test out of your way, doesn't it? Let me take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass. Got 5 out of 5 correct. Alright, time to take on Art. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topic for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art. But there's absolutely no set definition as what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with this discussion and see where it takes us. There are 2 things I wish to focus on today, ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. They will be times where your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friends ribbon. Incidentally, there is a person in Castle Ruffa who can give your Pokemon a Best Friend ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are most certainly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such with the Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whatever you run into a Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to capture a Pokemon with the mark, sorry, yawning, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? You can show them off, you can exchange ribbons, you can change their title. Wonderful, Donnie! Your knowledge is impressive. The correct answer is that Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. Once more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. For example, you can send out a Gible with the Best Friend ribbon by declaring, "Go, Gible the Great Friend!" And while I know what I just said, that marks are generally found on your Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently, Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These marks, such as the Gourmet mark, and the Item Fighter mark, and the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it's a great fun way to try work out how to get each mark using the name as a clue. Well, that just wraps up our last class. The next X is the final exam. Please review our material closely so that you can pass on your first try. So let's take on the art finals. I do hope you're all ready because it's time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. And begin! What is the name of the restaurant where you can change your Pokemon's Terra type? That would be the Treasure Eatery. What is the name of Brassius' signature art installation that we discussed in class? The Sundering Sunflora. How many waterfalls are counted among the 10 sites of Paldea? That would be 2. Where can you find on the million volt skyline? That would be Levincia. The marks of a Pokemon are present when you first eat them, and none can be added later. That is false. Time is up! That it is for today's test. Pencils down, please. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared, it has left a mark that I will treasure, I promise you. And it is my sincere wish that all of you go on to even greater and more prosperous futures. And that's that. Good work, everyone. You can receive your results from the front desk. So let's see how we did. So 5 out of 5. Get some candies now for our final class, which is home economics. Put away your phones. It's time to begin our last class together. Home economics is a study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realized that I focused mostly entirely on food. I hope it's not too late to shift a discussion of clothing and other necessities in our last class. I am sure you are aware our academy has air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climates of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, 1 for each spring, summer, fall, and winter when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issued. That includes your bag or your hat. If you choose to wear one, you're even free to change your style of your hair, however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would most certainly have been against school rules, where I was a boy. That reminds me. There is one more thing I would like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Our Rotom phones? Perfectly correct. That's an adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit that I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case for my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small talk. As this class is known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in declaring your future. Deciding, I mean. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, and decide what to wear in the morning when you awake. I would be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrichen your lives, even if only a little bit. This sentiment is imparted to me by Mr. Hassel, and the particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, seeing this class through to the very end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best in our final exam. Oh, it's time for the home economics finals. The time has come to test how well you've all have learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from the last minute cram session fades. Which of the following meal powers makes it easier to come across shiny Pokemon? That would be Sparkling Power. Which of the following is not affected in Egg Power? Makes eggs hatch faster, helps hatch strong Pokemon, makes eggs easier to find. That would be help make strong Pokemon. Which is a simple yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers? That would be make food with others. Which is the correct action to make when your adorable Pokemon becomes dirty? That would be Pokemon Wish. Pokemon Dash, I don't think anybody wants to play that game anymore. That would be Pokemon Wash. This is the question about the Academy rules. Should you change your uniforms, tops and bottoms to perfectly match each season? It doesn't matter. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I've made the questions a little easier than I do plan to, as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had, so you would not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. Let's see our final scores. A 5 out of 5. So that's it for all of our classes. You have now finished all of your classes and passed all their exams. I have this for you from Director Clairville. For doing all that, we get 5 I've experienced candy larges. Now you can focus all your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there. Let's go see all the teachers. First to the school store. Let me see. Why not do a quick bit of shopping? Yeah, let's buy some Moo Moo milk. As that weird noise comes back again, it has to be like a frog or a toad or something. Get some ultras. Okay, that has to be loud enough that the mic has to be picking this up. I'll be surprised if it isn't. I do apologize if the mic is picking this noise up. Whoa, what the hell? Why did I just teleport her to the door? What happened there? Oish! New kid! You here to do a little shopping? Yep, I'm here to shop. School store has a nice place. They got everything you need right here. I'm here to check out the sandwiches they got for sale. The school store sandwiches taste great and have an excellent nutritional balance too. What happened to your intensive training? I guess I'm just not used to it yet. That's all the training kind of wore me out. I achieved my goal anyway, so I'm gonna take a break from the sandwich making for a bit. Oh right, I didn't tell you what my goal was. I want to pay Nurse Miriam back for everything she's does for me. It's my way of saying thanks. So she's so nice and so skilled at what she does. I really look up to her. I wanted to try sandwich making so I could be skilled at doing something for other people I like she is. But I guess I just wasn't cut out for it. What I'm cut out for, though, is being full of energy. So I decided to focus on that instead. Like I said in class, I think people with Pokemon should make their strong points even stronger. You really helped me out, new kid. Take this as my way of saying thanks. Obtain 10 bottles of protein. Alright then, what should I go with today to get in my protein in? Alright, let's go to the art room. Why, hello there, Donnie. You always seem to appear at the most critical of moments. The most crucial of moments? Well, you see... Master Hassel, I'm here to collect you. So I see. I'm glad that you finally made up your mind about taking your place as the leader of the family. Well, it is indeed true that I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind to continue teaching here at the academy. How could you? Ooh, are you saying you don't care what happens to our proud lineage? I am saying I have other priorities. Have a look around you at this art decorating this room, would you? The children here are letting their senses, their preceptiveness grow freely. I do not wish to say that protecting our family's ancient bloodline is of no importance. I simply wish to see young talent blossom and grow into the future. It just seems so much more fun to me, if I am being honest. What an utter nonsense. And yet, your fearlessness, unflinching in commitment to that nonsensical vision, proves that you are worthy of carrying the will of the dragons, Master Hassel. I will not give up. I will come as many times as I need in order to change your mind. Oh, by all means, my door is open. I think you'll soon find you've met your match in stubbornness. You thought I could be cowed by some story spun up by my father deteriorating health? I am not so easily fooled. I will return another day. Ah, I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I was so very close to resigning my post as teacher and returning to my home. But the students here gave me the courage to say no. That includes you, Donnie. Your words truly brought me strength. I cannot think of a way I could possibly repay my debt to you young ones. Take this, if you will, insignificant as it may be, in expressing the full obedience of my gratitude. For Hassel, we get 50 Terra Shards of Dragon, so you can really change one of your Pokemon into a Dragon Terra type. Now then, let it be clear to all. I, Hassel, will continue on my chosen path as instructor to the youths of our world. You formed a close bond with Mr. Hassel. To the home ec class. Master Donnie, about the matter which I need your help. I have discovered the name of the incredibly sweet continent. It is called a sweet Herba Mystica. If you should find it during the course of your treasure hunt, I would be grateful if you could share some with me. So, this is the thing he wants, sweet Herba Mystica. How do you get Herba Mystica? I will tell you, because you will absolutely hate it. the main way of getting Herba Mystica is through Terra Raids. Thing is, they don't appear in just any random ass Terra Raid. They have to be Terra Raids of, I believe, I forget if they appear in level 4 raids, but I know they will appear in the next set of level raids after you beat the main story. They also can only be dropped by certain Pokemon. So not only do you need to do the correct star raids, but the Pokemon in those raids have to be the correct Pokemon that can potentially drop the herbs. So certain Pokemon can drop only certain flavor of herbs, while certain Pokemon can drop any flavor. And these are drops, mind you, so you're not always guaranteed to get the Herba Mystica. So this is probably going to take me a while because I need to find the raids that correspond with the Herba Mystica, or wait until much later in the game where I can get at the sweet Herba Mystica given to me. So we cannot complete him until for a long while, unless I get extremely lucky. Hey, let's see Saboteur. My dear friend, and my dear Donnie, Popeye here is as healthy as it can be. Ha 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 ha! Well, it seems being quiet is simply a part of this one's personality. But it's hard for this Pokemon to communicate with its fellows without speaking up. As you know, wild Pokemon use their cries to tell each other all sorts of things, like the location of food or whether there are predators nearby. So even if I were to release it back into the wild, I'm afraid that it may not be able to do those sort of things. What do you think, Donnie? Where does this Popeye belong? With you, Salvatore. Oh, I didn't expect to hear Mon Mon on my name. So you think it should stay here, with me? I was so focused on getting it back to good health, so it could return to the wild, that I didn't even consider that possibility. What do you think of that idea, my little Popeye friend? Popeye! It's smoked at last! Even without speaking Pokemon language myself, I know that reply means yes. Oh, my dear Donnie, merci so very, very much for all your help with Popeye. All the more reason you should have this. Here, a rare Pokemon for you to raise. You get a Meowth from Mr. Salvatore. You may be thinking, what's rare about Meowth? You can find Meowths practically anywhere in Paldea. I am so happy. Yes, I, Salvatore, will take it upon myself to look after Popeye for good. I will indeed. We form a close bond. So let's take a look at that Meowth he gives us, and you will understand why he considers it rare. The Meowth he gives us is a Galarian form of Meowth. This is the only way you can get a Galarian form in the game. It does not appear in the wild anywhere in the games, as far as I can remember. So yeah, if you want Galarian Meowth, you can get it off Salvatore. You can also transfer it into the game, Galarian Meowth into the game if you played Sword and Shield. But yeah, comes with Growl, Fake Claws, Fake Out, and Hone Claws, and it has Tough Claws for its ability. So yeah, you get something pretty good if you do all of Salvatore's classes. Let's go to the schoolyard. Let me see. Ah, there's our math teacher. Donnie, help me keep an eye out, would you? I set up a little ambush here for that girl who keeps watching me. She will be here any second. An ambush? Well, you see, it's not very pleasant knowing she's just staring at me all the time. And now I know what she looks like after seeing her in the cafeteria. Ah! It's you, isn't it? You're the one who's been secretly watching me recently. Miss Trime! How did you know I guess you must have noticed me. I'm so sorry. Well, of course I noticed. You were watching me practically all day, every day, after all. I assume there's something you want to ask me. Yes, I do. I've been a huge fan of yours since your time as the gym leader. I love rock-type moves so very much. Oh my. But you just suddenly retired from your post as gym leader a year and a half ago. Why did you quit? My goodness, is that all you wanted to ask? Yes, your reason for retiring was never made public. But it's well known among the students here that you just avoid that question anytime it's asked. I thought it would be rude to ask you a question that you didn't want to answer, so I just couldn't find the courage to ask. So that's why your gaze felt so intense. I see, forgive me. So very intense? Never mind that. As for the reason I quit my job as gym leader, I simply wanted to focus on more on my job as a teacher. It's not that I dislike being a gym leader, nor anything of that sort. Quite the contrary, talking about the gyms fills me with the feelings of nostalgia and sadness. That's why I always avoid answering the question when a student asks. Oh, I see. Do you have any plans of becoming a gym leader again? No, I'm afraid I don't have plans to do so. My sister is doing a splendid job as gym leader in my stead. I personally find being a teacher most enjoyable these days. But since I am, in fact, your teacher, I would appreciate that you call me Miss Trime. As students do, it's not the us time. Okay, I'm sad to hear that, but I understand. Thank you, Miss Trime. Well, I suppose that solves that mystery. That made me so nervous! I said so many things to try and sound so cool. I was most certainly a little scared when I felt that girl's intense gaze on me. But having you here with me allowed me to do what was needed to be done for to face what turned out to be one of my biggest fans. I must thank you for always showing up at just the right time, Donnie. Allow me to show you my appreciation a little. I hope these will help you on your adventure. You have 50 Rock Terror Shards. And we formed a close bond. Let's see, is there any more teachers? Just our history teacher. Donnie, the time has come. The cursed treasures, the 4 Pokemons of Ruin. They exist! I stumbled upon the truth in a newspaper of all places. Ha! An interview piece with a carpenter, no less. The Pokemon wielders apparently use sacred stakes to seal these treasures of ruin in the shrines. There is a separate shrine for each of the 4 Pokemon, and the 8 stakes are driven into the ground. In an area surrounding each shrine, keep the Pokemon of Ruin at bay. Power of Ruin at bay. So those stakes that we've been seeing throughout the game, those are what they look like. In other words, if all these stakes for the given shrine were to be removed, it would release the Pokemon held inside! Do you think it would be nice to free those Pokemon from the confines of their tiny little shrines, Donnie? Yes. Such a kind soul, I see. You're proving truly useful. According to the descendants of the Pokemon wielders in the story, you must have a bond with a Pokemon in order to remove the stakes. I'm sure someone as Pokemon savvy as yourself would have no trouble with all that. You can choose for yourself whether to believe me or not, but I will mark the locations of these shrines on your map. I do rather go myself, of course, but skipping out on my class asses to go adventuring seems to have made the director a little suspicious of me. Heh, you can think of this as part of your treasure hunt. Treasures of ruin are still treasures after all. I do hope your investigation of these shrines, if you are all inclined to do so. Now Bon has got closer with her. So if you check your map, you're going to notice the shrines now appear on your map, so you can see where their locations are. They also act as fast travel points, so you can go to them. However, the fast travel of these shrines only work if you have been to that shrine. So for example, because I haven't been to this shrine, I can't use this shrine as a fast travel point. I have to physically go there and look at and check the shrine to use it as a fast travel point. So at some point when we explore this area, we can go to these shrines. But now that we're done with all the classes, I just want to double check to make sure nothing has appeared. Yeah, because we need the Sweet Herba. We haven't filled out our decks and nothing else is available. So we will end this episode here, and in the next episode, I'll see you where we're gonna start on our next part of our treasure hunt. We'll be a Titan. We'll be a gym leader. We'll be a starbase. You're gonna have to find out in the next episode. I'll see you then. Later.